Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Salem by Night episode. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and we are back once again with our Anarchs. Last we left off with them, we opened up with Melvin and Erickson arriving at the Willamette University Library looking for Lydia Frost. And they got to see that a young girl was at the front counter with a nameplate that read Amanda. Erickson immediately turned on awe just to help him deal with the mortal and finding information. They learned that the mythology section was up on the third floor, and as they were climbing the steps up to the next floor, they saw the wind pick up outside and the door open and close. They got to see Amanda kind of feel the chill of the winter air, put on a sweater, and go close the door securely. Upstairs, Melvin picked up one of the law books that was on a side desk where somebody had been studying. And on the third floor, they got to see Lydia in the middle of a hunt, as it were, as she was talking to a young man. We shifted over to Andreas, who was still at the hotel, and who got to see three gentlemen walk out of different rooms. And after seeing the destruction and complaining about their shoes and whatnot, two of them entered the rooms again, and after a few minutes they came instead of them coming out, two large dogs emerged and then took off running. And as Andreas tried to leave, his motorcycle started to malfunction and start to fall apart underneath him, and that's when the third gentleman emerged out of nowhere, almost like out of obfuscation, and punched him. There was a small scuffle. The gentleman shrank down to a normal human size, and as he did, he cut his losses and disappeared back into the nothingness that he emerged from, and took off. And Andreas also took off in the opposite direction, trying to head to meet up with the rest of his coterie. Back at the library, Lydia Frost excused herself from her target and walked over to Melvin, where they had a chat about their situation and how she was being hunted, while Erickson silently got stabbed on the other side of the floor and had to deal with a gentleman that emerged from his own obfuscate and urged him to be quiet, even though there was a very quiet aura around him. The Bruhad used Dread Gaze to remove the assailant from his immediate vicinity, and actually managed to make him step back and go into a defensive posture. All the while, Melvin and Lydia are having a gentle conversation, talking about the situation and how they had moved back in with Anastasia Richards at the Tower Apartments, and how Melvin wanted Lydia to join him there so she could be a little bit safer. We shifted back to see Andreas running full bore away from where he had just fought the large gentleman that seems to have some control over his body. And after a few blocks, the feeling of being watched dissipated and lessened enough so that he could kind of stop going full out, but still urging his way over to where he knew, where he hoped at least, that Erickson and Melvin would be. And after seeing that Erickson was in trouble, Melvin joined the fray, throwing the book at the assailant. And because Lydia had never met Erickson, when she came around and saw him standing there bleeding, she used her dominate to make him throw himself out the window. And as everybody kind of made their way outside and everybody came back together, they could see three pairs of eyes in the bushes, not too far away from them, kind of staring at them, and one by one they vanished into the darkness. And we left off with them driving to the Red Eye Lounge to pass on what they had learned to Otis King and his coterie in exchange for some protection, because it was getting close to daybreak. Hello, boys. What is up?
How you doing?
Hola.
Greetings
I
and
am in.
salutations.
I'm in danger.
You're in danger. You sure are.
I started off the evening fucking charging in like it was Edward Norton in Fight Club. It's just like ran to my lungs, burned battery acid. Then I ran some more.
And I ran some more.
I mean, I had a pretty quiet evening.
Yeah, very quiet. You had this whole fucking stage play thing going on behind
Yeah.
you.
It is. You know what? Given Melvin's track record,
I
is
like
it is it refreshing to not have anything happen to you
For once.
for
Yeah,
once?
it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
nice. I
dude.
know it's going to change today already immediately, but it's a nice change of pace that for one game session,
not at all.
it wasn't me that the bus hit.
It didn't hit and then run over you again in reverse.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
back
It's
and
nice.
forth.
Sometimes you gotta switch things up on your players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
why not?
appreciate you.
You know, gotta
I
keep
appreciate it.
keep it spicy.
I like it.
But as you are driving up to Salem town, you will notice that an ambulance is driving in the opposite direction back towards West Salem. And as you're pulling up to the Red Eye Lounge, there are 2 police cars. The parking lot is emptied. There's a couple of stragglers that are making their way out.
Will,
Yes.
sorry to
Mhm.
cut you off, but before we
Oh.
get there, I would be remiss
Okay.
if I didn't look to Andreas and say, why the fuck were there wolves chasing after you?
Werewolves, actually, I think. They didn't smell like gangrel, but yeah. The
I saw them. I
yeah.
saw them, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, the gentleman you tossed the boots all over the place, Erickson. Apparently they don't need them. They normally have fucking paw socks or whatever the fuck they.
I like how Ericsson's the one that's
Okay.
getting blamed for the boot throwing.
I
Yeah.
stay perfectly
Funny
quiet. I nod my head and I just point. I go, yeah.
These are the people.
I'm,
These are the people.
I'm
I
here
associate.
holding my
Asshole.
side. I'm here like holding my side like fuck you people.
Fucking
Fuck all
Yeah,
of
well,
you.
you know what? I will
Look at that.
plug
He
the
won't even say
wound, but
anything.
at the same time,
Look, Pai got his
He's not
son.
even
yeah.
defending himself.
Yeah, Wolf got his
Not
son.
even defending himself.
yeah. So as if things weren't complicated enough in Salem, now we've got fucking Garou around.
For all we know, that's what I'm going to be remembered for. Throwing boots. Out of everything that I've done,
Everything.
the boots will be
You-
the thing that I'll be
You
that,
build
that they will
1,000 bridges, but you suck one dick.
remember.
So Werner Hertzfeld is working with Guru.
I don't know if he realizes he's working for Garou, but that's what those things were.
Interesting. And they broke the other Guru broke the pact that was going on.
Well, when I was back at the hotel doing my my surveillance thing, saw them come home, got really fucked up about what had gone on in their rooms, and then 2 of them took off in paw form, which I didn't see a single crate or kennel while we were in there. So, and as soon as I started to leave, my bike fell into fucking pieces. Now that's new.
What? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean fell into pieces?
Like fell to fucking pieces as I tried to
Like
start
it just came apart.
What is it?
That's-
Anything like? Is it anything like how you guys became naked that one time and you told me that one of you was naked and then the other one like lost all that? Like the person exploded from
Oh,
fire.
right.
Like, from the-
The
Yeah,
Marauder.
it felt kind of, it actually felt kind of like that but nothing seemed to be going on. No weird energies around me. I just went to start my bike. The throttle came off in my hand and it just started collapsing. And no man worth his salt lets his bike fall apart like that. So that can't happen. That's like disassembly from the factory kind of shit. So I don't know if that's something fucking lupines can do now, but something fucked with my bike. I came here on foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw you running. I've
Yeah.
never seen you run.
I've never.
I saw
had
the
to.
ground. I saw the ground.
The last
Yeah,
time I had to run, the Germans were coming.
No, man.
So this is all good information that I think will help us out with Otis.
This is scary fucking information. So
Yes.
But like you said,
Okay.
the Red Eye Lounge has police officers.
Yeah, sorry,
Which is
Will.
also-
The
That's
thing
fine.
is I figured we were not going to be quiet in the car ride
Right.
after
There's
all the shit we
Yeah.
experienced.
there's
I introduced you to Lydia. I
Mhm.
the whole
Hi.
song and dance
Now
in the
we're
car.
dying.
Yeah.
Meet you.
and she's just quietly taking notes as you guys are talking.
Just like her father. Just like her fucking father.
Yep. But yeah, you arrive, and as you're pulling up the street towards the Red Eye Lounge, you will see an ambulance kind of driving away. Lights are off. They're not hitting its sirens. And as you pull up, you'll see that the parking lot is all but empty of like one or two cars. There's two police cars. Their lights are on, but their siren is off. And you'll notice that as you pull up, John Coulson is talking to two officers. There's one officer inside one of the squad cars, one of the cruisers, who looks to be just kind of writing a report. In the back seat, you'll notice that there is a gentleman who looks to be kind of head slumped. There's bandages around the top of his head. And in the other car, which is where the two officers are kind of standing with John Coulson, one of them keeps looking into the back seat because there is this agitated kind of movement of a body of another man that's just kind of yelling and barking obscenities and slurs, and Coulson just kind of like looks past him, holds his head up as he sees you, and just kind of motions for you to wait. But the two officers kind of look over at the four of you, and after a few minutes, they shake hands.
I sink into my seat when they look.
No, I'm covering behind you guys, considering I am all kinds of messed up.
You're Tim right now. You're Tim Roth in Reservoir Dogs. That's what you are right now. You're in the
I'm
back.
fucking dying, man.
I'm fucking dying, man.
But
I guess who's driving? Is it me or Andreas? Because it's not Erickson.
Nope.
Yeah.
Either one of you can be driving.
I'll fucking drive. I'm mad as fuck. I need to make sure this isn't some gypsy curse that stays with me and everything I'm going to try and drive falls apart. That'll be a
Fair
new
enough.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
seriously. Enough. If this Ravnos has got to deal with that shit, I'm walking right into the sunrise. I'll see you guys later.
Stay away from me, gypsy.
This is where the story ends.
Mm-hmm. With their flash and a poof.
Yeah. There are no issues with Andreas driving the car.
Thank God.
But yeah, John Coulson comes over. One of the officers goes over and turns on the car that the other officer was kind of writing the report in, and you'll notice that the one with the head slumped just kind of like comes to, shakes his head, and just kind of starts to just lean forward and start talking. As the car turns its lights off, the engine revs over, and it starts pulling away. The other car, you see the other officer just kind of open the back door, kick the gentleman that's in the back seat, and then close the door, get in, turn off their lights, and then just drive off and follow the other car. But Coulson comes over to your car. Gentlemen?
Seems like you had a busy night too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two people left in the back of two different cars, but nobody's under arrest?
It's a long story. Let me go inside and see if the young lady is fit to leave or if she needs to have a cab. And inside, you'll notice that there is a young woman, maybe late 20s, early 30s, kind of a modest beauty. Like, it doesn't look like she's wearing a lot of makeup. Youngish black woman with this kind of big puff of brown hair that has this shock of blonde on her right hand side, streaking back all the way. Looks like she has hazel eyes that kind of look like they're shifting from one color to the other depending on how the lights kind of go back and forth. Kind of looks like there's the threat of dangerous curvature to her body underneath the baggy clothing of the kind of sweaters or layers that she's wearing, plus the Salem Police Department blanket that they've given her. But she just kind of is rocking back and forth. There's this mug of coffee in her hands. It doesn't look like she's hurt in any way, shape, or form, but she's definitely seen some shit from what her body language is telling you. You'll notice that there's a couple of tables that have been flipped over. There's this shattered minefield of broken glass everywhere, a couple of broken bottles lying about, chairs have been tossed around, and the smell of cheap American beer and the light kind of coppery tinge of blood kind of wafts up into your noses. If I could have Erickson roll his composure and resolve, given how hungry you've become.
Oh no.
Grab a Snickers, bro.
Yeah, is that her name? Composure and resolve.
No,
Yeah, right?
what's your stage name? Maybe.
Just stage name. Composure and resolve.
4 dice, and so 3 hunger and 1 regular dice. This should not be
That's great.
terrible for you.
That's great. Just
Gonna
so
have
that's
good time.
2 7s and a 9 on the hunger,
Okay.
and then a fail.
Okay. So the smell of blood reminds you that you are in a state that you haven't been in a while. I don't think you've let yourself get this hungry in some time, and the blood is fresh, maybe less than 30 minutes old from being removed from the body. So it's just like it's got that nice kind of coppery sensation in the back of your throat, where it's just like on the verge of becoming sour, but it's like this is an acquired taste to some people. But he goes over, he talks to her, and she just kind of like nods her head, and like kind of like holds up her mug of coffee with a smile that she forces, and then just kind of like looks back down and thinks in her seat a little bit. But Coulson comes over. All right, let me make sure that there's somebody here with her, and I can meet with you in the office. Is this just a meeting that requires me, or should I inform Otis?
Yeah, I think we're gonna need Otis.
I think we're gonna need Otis. There's a whole lot of shit that's gone on in a short amount of time.
Understood. All right, come on in. And he goes over to the bar. He just motions to the office for you. And as soon as you open the door, you see that Manny is sitting behind his desk, just kind of his feet propped up on the edge, just sporking a piece of meat. And as he sees the door open, he looks up. Hey, it's my favorite people.
Oh,
There he is. And I just go, there he is. And I smirk and I look over and fix him and I go, hey, there he is. And I look at Erickson. I walk over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I shake his hand.
Yeah, he gets up, he shakes your hand.
I'm sorry, like I'm at the point of pain of damage that I've taken that I can't hold in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, oh dear God, that's exactly what I say. I'm just like, oh dear.
Hey, Manny, can we arrange for a meal for Erickson?
Oh,
This guy.
yeah, man. Do you want somebody that you can, that we're gonna have to clean up after, or do you want somebody you can just take a little happy meal?
Based off of the amount of damage that I have taken,
I say before he even says anything, I go, a happy meal is more than sufficient, and I look at him because remember, I'm still like,
yeah, somebody's got to be.
I'm an animal guy. Like that's my.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No, I look over. I look over at him. I'm just like, yeah. So you want to be the moral compass now? It's just that's great. That's
haven't
great.
fed on anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah, let me make some
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
And he goes out as Coulson's coming in. Once the door's closed, he goes over to the safe. He opens it, pulls off the false floor to reveal the stairway. He's like, after you, gentlemen.
At this point, we can do it.
Yeah,
It's just like click.
but we're polite. I mean,
Yeah, correct. Well, most of us. And
Most of us.
Yeah, I'll follow down the stairs, or I'll walk down the stairs.
Yep. Down there.
I will
Go ahead.
gingerly go down these steps.
Yeah, right.
I'll help you out. I'll help you.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Don't touch me.
What? One of us in front of him, one of us behind him. So if he falls in either direction, he's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, don't touch
Yeah,
me. Just push him down the stairs.
Don't touch me, bitch.
Yeah.
Touch me.
Do what I want. Downstairs, you'll see that Otis is behind the desk, kind of doing some paperwork, and kind of lying down on the couch is Dimitri. And as he hears the first steps coming down, like he sits up, he looks over, he sees that it's you, and he immediately turns to look at Otis, and then turns back to you guys, and he has this look of dread on his face. When he And he immediately gets up and goes over and just kind of like stands by the stairway. Altes, you have associates.
Dimitri,
It's good to see you guys.
you too.
Good to see you, Dimitri.
And Otis finishes what he's doing. You see him kind of do a flourish of a signature. He closes the ledger that he's working on, and he gets up. You see that his shirt is undone. The tie is on either side of his neck, and he comes over. His vest is fully open. There's no music playing, but he motions, and you see him pull out a pocket watch and looks down at it. You boys showing up rather late. This is a new occasion.
Exciting times.
You look
Quite
worse
an
for wear.
eventful evening. I'm feeling great. I read some books about law. No, I don't say. But I'm like,
I've been better.
It was kind of a rough evening.
And he comes over and he holds out his hand to Lydia and he kisses her knuckles. He goes, Miss Frost, it's good to see you again. Please have a seat. Make yourself at home. And she just kind of nods. Thank you, Mr. King.
I'm certain there's no problem with me bringing Miss Frost, right?
Oh, of course not, Melvin. You know that anybody that you are bringing in, I wholeheartedly understand that it is for reasons.
Fair enough.
Reasons.
For reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For things.
Yeah.
So we definitely have some experiences that we've seen today. I think Andreas probably has the more important of the news to kind of relay to you what he saw.
I don't know about in terms of importance, but urgency, yeah. Well, looks like the Lupines have been making it inside the city limits.
Really?
Uh-huh. And off character, who the fuck did we think they were working with?
Werner Herzfeld.
Right.
Warner Hertzfeld, yeah.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Werner Herzog, and it fucks with me every goddamn time.
Yeah.
I would like to see the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the child. So, yeah, so unload that on Otis that the Lupines are not only inside the city limits, but if our observations are correct, they're working with Werner Herzfeld.
That changes things.
Indeed. They are aware, at least on some level, of the Cainite presence in the city, but I don't think they realized what I was when they were starting to deal with me. But this thing took off running, or disappearing. Like, that's a trick I do. So I don't think that thing had any reason to be afraid of me. So I think I still think they're working on intel.
Interesting.
I look at Andreas and I just say, tell him about the bike.
Yeah, apparently they make bikes fall apart. I think they love nature so much that just like machines just like fall the fuck apart. I'm not kidding. My whole bike, top to bottom.
That's a new trick.
It collapsed in his hands.
All over the fucking street. I have to send the boys to get that shit tomorrow if there's any parts left.
If you need anything, let us know.
I could use a patch of dirt before the sun rises, but that's about it.
Well, yeah, we're jumping ahead of ourselves, but we were hoping that we could potentially stay here
Of course.
today.
I figured that would be kind of obvious by the time. I figured I'd ask in advance.
Right.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, and if not here, we have a safe house that's not too far that you could partake in. Especially since it looks like, and he just looks at Erickson, you've seen some events. Is that the lupine? Is that what the lupines did to you?
This isn't the lupines, man.
No. I casually point over to Miss Frost. She didn't know who I was, and I met a window, and the window won apparently.
Yeah, but I don't mean to cheapen your abilities, but that looks more serious than just a window.
Oh, yes, that. Sorry. Well, I'm more my ego has been hurt more the fact that I went through a window than the fact that I got stabbed. I apologize.
You got stabbed.
Yeah.
He almost got stabbed twice, but I threw the book at them.
Hey, but anyway, so in fact, now that I bring that up, because I know I didn't bring this up at the end of the last session, I want to go ahead and see if I can remember the person or a figure, their face, since they were literally up in my face.
Yeah. They were wearing a black turtleneck, a black overcoat, like a long kind of trench coat, duster, black pants, black boots. Like they were dressed to hide in shadows. And although there was a black scarf around their neck, it had lowered itself from their face. The gentleman is tanned, light brown eyes, a little bit of black or darkish kind of almost red freckling across the nose, kind of like Morgan Freeman. But there was a long, slick black hair that was tied back in a dark brown leather strap. And it was just about two hand lengths of hair beyond it. Clean shaven, had a little bit of a kind of indentation on his right cheek, just kind of like a scar that must have been given to him before his embrace, and little pock marks here and there that kind of gave him the appearance of a bit of a rough childhood.
I want to ask you something. I know that he lost his duster to get away from me, and I know that I searched through the duster and couldn't find anything. However, except the knives, but I want to keep the duster.
Okay.
I would have wanted to keep the duster because I wanted to see if there's any way that we like. So I would actually bring that up. I have the only thing I have left besides, and I give him the description, is the duster that he was actually wearing. I don't know if this could help.
Oh, and I start pulling the knives out and putting them
and those
the
things.
knives I collected on the way down.
Oh,
which by the way, we would have checked those knives to see if there was any engraving. Maybe this guy's an asshole and actually put his name or initials
them.
on there.
I'm just showing them.
Yeah.
I'm keeping them.
But
these are not a donation to Otis King.
No. I just
thought they
want to
were a donation.
I'll give them one.
Yeah, the knives don't have any kind of naming convention that at least that you're familiar with, but each of the knives has some kind of very smooth, what looks to be of an Arabic glyph. Some of them have the same glyph, some of them have a different glyph, but there's only two different glyphs that are adorned or etched into the base of the knife where the little bit of a handguard exists. But otherwise, the knives are beautiful. Each of the knives has this splotch pattern that definitely doesn't look like it's any metal that you've seen, at least in America. The handles are of an exotic smelling wood and are all wrapped in a wine-soaked leather.
And just out of curiosity, we wouldn't know if this is silvered.
No, it doesn't look silvered.
No, also you can
one of each though.
Also, you can really fucking tell. Like if a solid silver blade and a solid steel blade look really different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more. My character's more into firearms than the actual knives. So
yeah.
But yeah, Otis. It seems like whoever this person was that attacked Erickson was going after Lydia.
All right, and he takes the coat. He takes one of each of the knives and he wraps them up. And he motions, and Dimitri comes over, grabs it from him. Give this to Coulson. See if he can do something with that. It might be too late to go looking for him now, but we can start on it tomorrow if you boys like.
Yeah, judging by the hour, we probably should.
Yeah. And I give him the name of the hotel where these guys were all holed up, the bikers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the one that gave you the address.
Oh, that's right. He is. Okay, yeah. Sorry. No, but then wasn't it a photo that he gave us?
No, he wrote down the address and he was like, "This is where the."
I thought it was a photo of the bar.
No.
We were trying to connect. We were trying to connect the dots to see if the photo that we have was connected to or in that area of where we went.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay.
But he goes, "Is there anything else?"
No, I think we should hit that safe house though. I'm not gonna meld into the earth if we actually have a safe house we're all staying at.
Would it be possible for Lydia to stay here under your protection?
Well, I don't stay here. So I have my own place that we go to, but she is more than welcome to come.
What do you want to do, Lydia?
She looks at Erickson for a moment, and there's a tinge of shame that kind of crosses her face. It's very reminiscent of Albert. And whenever he would feel bad for doing something that he shouldn't have done. But she goes, I think wherever you are, Mr. Wright, I think would be the safest for me.
That's fine with me.
Oh.
No.
This doesn't belong in Vampire Masquerade.
Feelings? Get these out of here.
Yeah.
Get these out of here.
I'm like, you got it, kid. And I give her the little.
And you knock out her chin.
Without potence. No potence in that one.
No potence.
No potence. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, so Otis is like, all right. So I guess it's
good evening.
It's settled.
Good evening.
Coulson looks down.
I actually stop. Wait, I stop and I go, where's Manny? Manny was supposed to bring me my Happy Meal. That's I say that out loud. I'm like,
I'm sure that it can be
delivered.
I'm sure that it will be waiting for you when you get there.
Very futuristic. That it'll just arrive at my doorstep.
Yeah, it'll be at your door in a dash, maybe.
Oh yeah. If you don't mind, if the Happy Meal comes with a doggy dish or some kind of animal, that would be appreciated.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that Manny is assembling an assortment of animals for you to dine on.
I appreciate it. That's why I love Manny. He's a stand-up guy. And I look at Erickson.
I hold it. Do I gotta roll and find out if I hold that in? Because at this point, I'm just like so.
If you want to let it out, boy.
Nah. I let it out once. So I'm gonna hold it in this time.
How many of those minuses do you have from all the fucking damage you took?
Yeah.
But Coulson peeks his head down. Everything all right down here, sir? Mr. King, seems that there's a young lady who is going to require a ride. can I take some of the discrepancy funds? And he's like, yeah, whatever needs to happen. And he's like, gentlemen, I hear you'll be staying with us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that was very quick. Yes. Yes, yes, we are.
And Otis just kind of smiles. It's like a lot that what is discussed down here does not get past him.
Oh, I've in this short amount of time that I've known Coulson, that doubt has never crossed my mind. And I smirk at him. You would have made a great detective.
Me or Coulson?
Oh, Coulson.
Okay.
No, Coulson.
But yeah,
no, not you, Otis. You're a criminal.
No, the moment he gets
not you, Otis.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. Full circle.
Full circle.
But no, the second Coulson gets his green light, like his head disappears back into his office. So he doesn't really hear that. But you see Otis grab some of his paperwork and a briefcase, puts it in, closes it, comes over and just kind of motions up the stairs, and you already see that Dimitri's rushed up there. He's like, gentlemen, madam, if you you'll follow me upstairs, I'll take care of you and give you the address of the safe house that you can partake in.
Copy that.
Much appreciated,
madam.
As always.
Yeah. And she climbs up the steps. Upstairs, you'll see that Coulson gives the young woman some money and just kind of like helps her stand up. She's very, very thankful and just kind of sheepish about everything, but she takes a big swig from her mug. There's a kind of like apologetic gesture, and he waves it off. It's almost like, it feels very familiar to some of you, where it's just like, hey, sorry, I couldn't finish this or whatever. But puts the money in her hand, will bring the Salem Police Department blanket tighter around her body. Just let her know that the bouncer and one of his bartenders will wait with her outside for the cab to come. As you climb up the steps, you'll see that Otis has put on a coat, very stylish, but weathered.
Mm-hmm.
And as he comes outside, Manny's already got his coat on. He's got his aviator glasses, and kind of finger guns at the group, and he's just like, "You got stuff waiting for you at the safe house, my man."
Much appreciated, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start walking towards the car.
I just tell Manny, I'm like, be extra careful out there.
Yeah, man, it's good. We're good. But he gives you the address to the house, and then all four of them pile up in Otis's big, kind of like Cadillac Eldorado, and they drive off.
Insert lowrider playing here.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. No more.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all you can do.
That's it. 5 seconds, or else you get in trouble.
That's it. Yeah. Demonetized. Go ahead.
There's no money to be made in this. Come on. But you follow the address, and sure enough, it's maybe like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive, and there's a 2-story house. And as you pull up, you can hear what sounds like an out-of-place mooing, and something heavy kind of stomping about in the backyard.
Oh my God, he got me a cow.
There are 4 cows back there.
Oh my God.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about killing any of these things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, well, I look at them and I go, I think that's for me.
I'm definitely not Earth. I'm definitely not going to Earth. They're gonna shit right where I'm sleeping.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up and shit for sure.
I'm gonna come up out of the dirt in the evening, like what the fuck?
Like like a Golgothan, just coming out.
Yeah, there's two that are tied together and have a little like note card tinted on one of them, and there's another two
cooking instructions.
Yeah, I grabbed the note card.
Yeah, one pair is for Melvin, one pair is for Erickson.
Excuse me?
I don't even think I need to eat both cows, though. Because I'm just on one hunger. So I'll save it for later.
Yeah, like I figure you let them wander around. I mean, they're already back here for a reason.
And we get tax break.
We make this an agricultural site.
We'll get a little beekeeper set up, and we're good.
The game's totally changed now. Now this is a farm.
Now it's Stardew Valley.
No, it's Stardew Valley.
I got a couple of hunger levels down here, so I'll partake of some cow too.
Okay.
You can take one of my cows.
You can have this heifer. It's fine.
Draining a cow will lower your hunger by 1, but that's it. That's the most it can drop it.
That's fine. That's all I need.
That's the most drop it. Yeah, that's great.
Now my hunger is at 1, so I'm good.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, that's great.
So
I'm glad everybody else's hunger is at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a strange sensation for Andreas, who is used to human blood.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the same taste.
I make eye contact with him. I'm like, I make eye contact. I'm like, good, all right? Good.
And even as they start becoming drained and kind of falling over, the weight of these monstrosities is just so much different than a human who's like slumped over.
Mm-hmm.
And it does require you kind of like adjusting yourself and attacking them from a different angle.
Cow tipping.
But you drain them.
Side of the neck. I mean,
yeah,
it's not that hard. Yeah. So I'm going to avoid killing mine if I can.
No, to get that full hunger reduction, you need to drain it.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it.
How many cows are left?
You're 2.
You have 2, bro.
You have 2.
Oh, I have 2. Oh, so I can bring it down to hunger. Yeah,
I shared with Andreas.
Yeah.
I got one. I had 2, and I gave 1 to Andreas.
Yeah, there were 4 cows in total. So,
where's the beef? I just go ahead and just take off both of them.
Right here.
Okay.
So wait, would that get me down to hunger 1 then?
It would get you down to hunger 1.
That's all I want. That's fine.
It is disgusting to you because this is not human blood.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had to do this. I mean, I was in the Bible Belt. It's not uncommon, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
This is why you make friends with a kosher butcher, so you can just so you don't have to bite the cow itself. You just get the blood individually.
Mm-hmm. But you guys get your hungers under control, at least for the most part, and you bed down for the day.
Okay.
So the next night, you wake up.
Let me go.
Does Erickson want to heal?
Of course I fucking do. Of course.
Okay.
Nah, gaping holes are in this time of year, man.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, aggravated, schmaggravated.
Yeah.
Suppurating wounds is the new fall look.
So, beginning of the night, you've got 1 level of aggravated damage you're going to heal, and that's going to take you the whole night to heal, to knit itself back together again. So at the beginning of the night, we need you to make 3 rouse checks, please.
At the same time, or one after the other?
One after the other.
Okay.
I'd rather see if there's a slow decline.
A 7.
Okay. So
That's
one.
The first one.
1 good.
A 6.
2 good.
And a 4.
So your hunger goes up by 1, but you heal that aggravated point of damage.
That's great.
It is an unusual sensation for you. You've never dealt with aggravated damage before.
Mm-hmm.
And so your beast...
you would think that I would... You would think that I would have a lot more aggravated damage,
with all the fires you said, we we think that you should be doing more aggravated damage, but you're fine. You've skated by.
Yeah.
So your beast comes through in an unusual, perplexed manner. It's a sensation that neither you nor it has felt, and it's definitely something that it doesn't want to feel again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But after tonight, you can try to heal your regular superficial damage whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Well,
each
if
going
that's
to
the case-
require a rouse check. But it's a simple one rouse per wound, per superficial wound. So you can play that by ear if you want to.
I mean, can I just do that now? But I might as well try.
No. Like the aggravated damage is going to take the whole night to heal. So your blood is
understand.
dedicated to that.
I understand. Okay. Well, at least I don't have a hole anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm not going to have a hole anymore.
Yeah. And the hole has knit itself to the point where it's just a scar. There's just that kind of dent in your skin where the knife went in. But otherwise, it's not like this gaping red hole that people could like see organs through.
Yeah.
Like your body has started to knit itself.
I'm gonna need a new shirt.
But it is about 9 o'clock at this point when all of you are awake.
Well, that humanity is just like going away.
And you will notice that the cows have been removed from the backyard.
Good.
Well, that's nice of them.
I hope they were donated to whoever the fuck needs them.
Burger King.
Or Manny Garza's just gonna chop it up and just have it himself.
No, he requires human.
I'm sure if he's I was gonna say if he's got the diet I think he's got, it's got to be human.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no K-Knight with that kind of hunger gets off light with like, oh, you just need beef chunks.
Nope. Like he offers you every time that he offers you, like it is not a pleasant aroma. Like it is somebody's like lung tissue or like actual kidney
or liver because it still has blood in it.
Yeah.
Exotic.
Mm-hmm. There's no part of the body that goes to waste with Manny Garza.
Yeah.
But you guys wake up. Lydia's already awake and just kind of like sitting at the kitchen table working on her notes.
All right, first thing I do, I'm checking the revolver and making sure I have this one of the silver bullets chambered next. This is gonna become a paranoia.
There are 4 left.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, like I said, one is chambered to go next when it rotates.
It is the next one to go, and then the next 3 are following it after. Like there's nothing left to chance to be like, oh, maybe it'll be a no. Like all 4 are they're queued up and ready to be let into the theme park.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you still so you're still following in your father's footsteps? And I look at the notes.
Oh, I mean, if you could call it that, yeah. I'm still an anthropologist at the end of the day, Mr. Wright. I still am following some of the scientific journals, but here and there, whenever I find myself hitting a wall, I do like to open up my father's notes and see what I can do with them.
Was he onto something?
I mean, was Galileo onto something, Mr. Wright?
I mean,
his peers didn't think so. Some of this might not be something that we'll ever find out in our own lifetimes. I mean, I say that given that we're mortal now, so who knows? But in a regular lifetime, I don't think this is the kind of thing that could be solved. There's a lot here, Mr. I don't know if you've ever read through it, but I don't think my father was looking for Atlantis so much as he was on the verge of discovering Enoch more than anything.
Interesting, I don't know what Enoch is, right?
You don't?
Like in character. I'm like,
I
what?
sure as hell don't
I
know.
pretend I'm like, oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enoch.
Yeah, that
What?
place.
What's Enoch? And I smirk at her.
And she's like, Mr. Wright, I've only been here a little bit, and I've already found so much. Enoch is what some would refer to as the first city, where the children of Abel kind of founded civilization, if you were to believe the Bible.
Oh. Interesting.
Actually, I would actually know the name, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I would actually know. And I go, yeah, Melvin. How do you not know this?
I wasn't much of a God-fearing man.
And she pulls out a couple of passages, and Erickson will recognize the second one that she brings out because it is one of the Gospels. But the first one, that it looks almost like one copied the other. It says, "For you are my children alone among the rest of existence. You are my only companions. Forever will we be locked in the way that fathers are headed to their sons and their soon-to-be failures."
What passage is that from?
Well, this here, and she points to the one that you recognize. This is from one of the Gospels. I think this is from Luke, if I'm not mistaken. But this...
No, I understand. No, yes, of Luke. But what I wanted to ask is the first one, the one that first piece that you read.
This predates
the one that we just read now.
This predates anything even remotely tied to the allegory of Jesus Christ. This passage goes back maybe 200 or 300 years before the coming of Christ.
Interesting.
And this is a rough translation of Egyptian cartouches.
Funny you mentioned that. And I pull out the two daggers. I'm like, do you know what that means?
I can look it up. I don't have a familiarity with Arabic.
Arabic.
That's what that looks like. It doesn't look like any of the symbolism attached to the Pacific kind of Japanese, Chinese kanji. That looks much more flowery in its design, so I would assume it's Indian or Arabic, kind of Middle Eastern.
Hold up. Something's tickling Erickson's brain, but it still hasn't fully formed yet. So he's just like
right in the gooch of his brain.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
I put the knife down and I just kind of cross my arms and take a step back because I'm having flashbacks of Albert.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of stand there and quiet.
Yeah, but you see her pull out a thick kind of journal. It's one of the smaller kind of moleskin, what we would call moleskins nowadays, but it's kind of thick. And she starts leafing through it, and you can see that she's collected different alphabets from different parts of the world in different time periods. And there's a whole section on the Middle East, India, and Arabic. And she cycles through it, and she goes, so this one, and she slides one of the knives forward. this could either be the glyph for justice or death, and this seems to be the closest one to retribution.
Hmm.
God's judgment in knife form.
So, Lydia,
Yeah.
do you know something we don't about why these people are hunting you?
I mean, I wish I could be of more help, but I don't understand. The only thing that comes to mind is there are rumors that state that Enoch was founded in the cradle of humanity, and that's always been attributed to either the Middle East or to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was embraced, I was one of the leading anthropologists on the discoveries being made in Egypt currently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're getting too close. What year is this now, Will?
It's about to be 1985. It is the end of 1984.
So I can't make that reference. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to make a Last Crusade reference, but that's 89.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
I wanted
it's
to
like
ask.
Last Crusade.
I wanted to ask off the top because I can't remember right now for the life of me. Mustang's sire. What's his name?
Mustang's sire. Where are?
I must go through notes.
It's Clydesdale.
It's Clydesdale Featherbottom. Clydesdale Featherbottom.
Clydesdale Featherbottom. Let me see where is she? There she is. Her sire.
And you went back in time. You're like back through the notes.
Yeah, I gotta bring up her character information. Her sire is Nikolai Barlow.
Okay, it's Nikolai Barlow.
Yep.
I thought for some reason, oh no, wait a minute. That's not the sire. It's just the gentleman that we met way in the beginning.
Right.
That came in. Oh. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Erickson's just sitting there really toying with this. Like this is something that's weighing on him. Like I know something. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah.
But well, what is it that we're gonna like? I'm sitting here, but I go up to Lydia and I actually lift up my shirt just so I can show the scar. I'm like, we're cool. And I go and I walk back to where I was at sitting trying to contemplate, figuring out what this,
And once you move to a different area, like she leans over to Melvin and she goes, was that a threat, Mr. Wright? Should I be worried?
No, he's special. You're fine.
I understand.
So it could be you're getting close enough that it's concerning people.
I doubt it, but this isn't. I'm not one of the. Like I can't be one of the only people studying this and trying to piece this together. I might be the only one coming at it from when my father started, but Atlantis has always been attributed to fantastic cities like Eden. Before Enoch even started, even then, Enoch has been attached to cities like Carthage, which were real and have historical significance to both mortals and our kind, especially Mr. Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe maybe Albert, his perspective is something that wasn't something that a lot of people were thinking of, and they thought they were in the clear when, and then I kind of pause when he wasn't around anymore.
It's a theory.
But now you're bringing this, you're picking up where he left off, whether it's a hobby or not, and there's no secrets anywhere nowadays.
I mean, the world is becoming smaller and smaller the more advanced we become.
Absolutely.
Not to mention most of the elders in the tower like to pretend these sort of things didn't even exist. It's kind of funny when the immortal Nightwalkers are telling you, oh, that's just a fairy tale.
Oh, until last night, I didn't think werewolves were a thing, but here we are.
At werewolves, just
I
like
remember.
flicking a nervous glance out the window.
Points the gun at.
just a shadow.
I remember when I didn't think vampires were real either. I just thought that Bela Lugosi guy was just doing some silly movie.
I mean, to be honest, at one point I thought Jesus was real. I just started laughing as I sit there.
Yeah, and she kind of looks over at you, is like, given what we've learned so far, like, there's nothing to disprove that he wasn't real.
Okay, never mind.
In my soul of souls, I want to do it, but he's still wounded. So.
Oh, you're gonna just have him show.
I'd be like, Jesus is real. He's right behind you.
Yep.
So Dracula's really a thing? Is what you're saying?
I haven't looked into it, but from what I've heard, he was.
From what I heard over the years, he is real.
I think if he's still around, he would be a frightening creature. But I know that some have attributed him to the clan of dragons.
That's what I've heard too. My clan traveled through most of Eastern Europe for centuries, and I wouldn't say they have I wouldn't say they have the best relationship with the dragons, but when we were polite, they were polite.
If anyone would know, it would be you, Mr. Barker.
Mm-hmm. Now, Will, do I know for a fact if he's alive or not? Because any number of things I could have picked up over the years, but
I don't think that you would have come across Vlad Tepes.
Yeah, not personally. I'm saying through stories from my sire, that sort of thing.
I think for sure Bartley would have told you that he came in contact with him at least once.
Yeah.
Or somebody that fit the description of Vlad Tepes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you know what? I left before questions came up, and I have a story now. That's how he took it.
So where are you at now with your research? You know, it seems you're at a point where you're dangerous.
I don't think I am. I'm not. I'm not coming at the research from a linear perspective, Mr. Wright. I'm spotty at best. Whenever I find something that I can go down an avenue that I can unlock, I follow it. So it's not like I have a clear, definitive line from A to B to C. I have bits of A, I have bits of F, and I have bits of T. At best, there's nothing concrete. At best, there are mentions of that keep coming up, almost like a book that predates the King James Bible, the Lutheran Bible, but still nonetheless has the same reverence, only for our kind. And you see her flipping through her notes, and she points to a name that has been underlined 3 or 4 times and has been circled in 2 different ink colors. But she says, I keep coming across this reference to something called the Book of Nod.
Right. I'm sure I've never heard of that.
No. This is something that predates. And given everything that I've discovered, it is a kind of collection of the history of our kind. A real find if it even exists.
So they're keeping documentation of what's going on for someone to find it.
I mean, something like that, Mr. Wright, would be an artifact. Something like that would be worth destroying entire cities for.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they're hunting you.
I don't know where the Book of Nod is.
But you know about the Book of Nod.
Maybe there's
you
something
figured
that
out-
you have found.
You figured out
Maybe.
about the Book of Nod. I just found out about the Book of Nod, so now I'm a threat. Even though you can read circles around me.
I mean,
And I smirk at her.
I've seen you in action, Mr. Wright. You've always been a threat. And she smiles.
Stop it.
Oh, you.
You.
Book of Nod.
It's a minor threat.
Minor threat. It's a band.
It's the 80s. I'm like sitting here. I'm like
Yeah.
Bad Brains. Yeah, like I got we're all bands. I got Minor Threat and Bad Brains.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
All right, man. Apparently that window knocked me for a loop for sure.
And none of them sound as good as not Edgar Allan Poe's wife.
It's true. Well, let's hope we don't end up looking like Gigi Allen. So,
well, I think we should get you over to our safe house, so you can post up there.
All right.
And figure out if you find something else out about this. We've got things we're trying to deal with.
Understood. She starts to pack her things up.
I want to ask real quick. This is just really random. I just
Sure.
want to check, covering bases. I pull out the ledger and I check the address we're currently in and see if this address is in this ledger.
It is not.
Okay. Whew. Good.
It is not.
Just
The addresses
close it
in your
I would
ledger.
hate for information about our location in the location that we're currently in to not be in the hand.
Right. The addresses in the ledger that you have are all in Salem proper. They're all in Kaiser for the most part.
all in Kaiser. Okay.
There's none this far into West Salem, and there's none that are anywhere near West Salem. Like the closest there is like maybe like a 10-minute drive from the bridge
Mm-hmm.
into Salem proper, like just outside the old downtown district.
Okay. When we step out, I'm gonna make a call, but not here. I feel paranoid to the point that
there's no phone in the building.
There's no phone. Oh, okay, then never.
Like the house has been set up to be as safe as possible for Kindred.
And this is 80s safe where they don't want like wiretaps and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no phones.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Magical wiretaps of bugs that are just magically inside these fucking phones.
There's electricity.
About.
There's electricity in the house, but there's no gas. Even though there's a gas stove and an oven, there's no telephones.
Facade.
Yeah.
It's a facade.
Yeah. Complete facade.
Copy that.
But yeah. So you guys are gonna get into the car and head back to Salem proper?
Yeah. That's my recommendation. I don't want to make decisions for everybody here, but
I tossed the ledger over to Melvin. I'm like, I know you've looked at this and I know I've looked at this too. Have we ever considered looking at these addresses? Considering these are all locations where people have met up at?
that's not a bad idea. I didn't think about that.
And yeah, well, there you go, detective. I'm just like,
I'm too busy wanting to find those 3 sons of bitches that were turning people.
correct. Which I believe. Remember, we found this in the same.
Right.
But
Right.
yes, that was my one and only time that I could try.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
We got to throw you through windows more often.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They don't lock some shit inside of you.
yeah, man. Yeah, all of a sudden now my brain is completely switched after that, and all of a sudden I'm trying to be a detective.
Now you're coming up with ideas and shit. Look at you.
Yeah, man. Look at me.
So
but we're driving into Salem property.
So you guys are gonna go drop off Lydia at the tower?
Yes. And I'm going to try and get in touch with some of the free souls and let them know what happened to my bike. But
okay.
And tell them to be surreptitious about retrieving it. Also, because all right, if I'm talking to my ghoul specifically, he can know a little bit more, but under no circumstances confront any of the fucking devil's disciples.
Yeah. You start off talking to one of the other guys who's just like taking notes. And after you're like, you shepherd around, he's like, yeah. And they pass you over to him. And he tells you, he's like, so we lost 3 guys. They got rounded up by the cops, but everybody else was kind of in the wind, Andy. I managed to get out. So it's not too bad, but we did fuck up their plans. At least 7 of them got rounded up by the PD. So
well, hopefully that's at least good news. All right, round up the boys. We got. See if you can please find my bike.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, that's a heart aching thing for me. And we can figure out what fires we need to set at the police station to get our boys out next time.
Well, they should be out soon. They posted $1,000 bail for just the minimal kind of nuisance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a fancy lawyer that came up and offered up some of their services. So
fancy lawyer.
Yeah, they said that they were with you.
Name?
It looks down. William Smythe, I think. Smith. There's a Y in it. Says he was referred to us by an A. Richards.
Does it sound all legit to me?
I mean, you would have to go looking up the things, but you do know that Anastasia Richards owns the Tower Apartments.
Anastasia. How do we know I say Anastasia real quick?
She's the one that's she's the one that's giving you an apartment in her complex.
Oh, right.
She's also the Ventru Primogen.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's the kind of shit I needed to know. That was why didn't you way to bury the lead? It's like
yeah.
I was just like, let me see how much information I need to give him to get that light switch to go off.
First every now and again,
the lady.
Yeah, well, first of all, Ventru, they all look alike.
She's a woman.
She likes long walks on the beach. She,
she's a lady. She has hair.
She has lady bits.
Lady bits hasn't mattered to my character in about 50 years now.
Yeah, give or take. But yeah, I was just like, let me see how much I need to give him before the light switch goes off, and then when I was like, all right, I need to tell him she's a Ventru Primogen.
So as long as that's great. We got high powered attorney. I may actually owe a Ventru a favor at this point. Who knows? This is brave new fucking world.
Look at us.
Look at us. Did we think we'd get here? I didn't.
Not at all.
You dead already.
Yep. But yeah, he tells you, we posted bail for them, so they should be getting out in a couple hours.
All right.
So I'll gather up some boys and go pick up your bike. Anywhere you need me to pick you up, or you need me to give you a loaner? You want to take my bike?
You know what? No. No. I love you, but I'd never do that to you if I didn't absolutely have to. No, I gotta ride with the guys. Now we'll be okay for the moment.
All
right. And again, tell everyone keep an eye out for any of the other devil's disciples and Shepherd. You really don't want to mess with some of these motherfuckers. If any of them even look like they're getting bigger,
no.
Yeah.
I told the boys that we did enough damage. That we need to lay low. So I'll just make sure that everybody understands that they're off limits.
Okay. Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
Nah. I was like, we got any silver? We got.
I mean, some of the boys have silver chains here and there, crosses and whatnot.
No. We'll worry about that later. But we may actually just keep a note. We may need to actually collect some silver for really, really stupid silver bullet reasons.
Like werewolf reasons?
Yeah.
You hear the phone. You have that noise of when somebody like puts a phone to their chest, and you hear him.
Yeah.
You hear him. Step outside for a second, just really muffled, and then you hear the door close, and there is this whisper tone. India, you telling me there's fucking werewolves in the city?
Yeah. And apparently there's some of them are running. I don't know if they're actually affiliated with the Devil's Disciples or if they're pretending to be or running with them. But I don't even know if that shit's contagious or not. So who knows?
I'll tell the boys to keep a distance.
Mm-hmm. It suddenly does occur to me. I don't know if that shit's contagious or not.
You know, and given the new Werewolf 5th edition rules, it's a crapshoot. So
yeah,
fuck those.
Oh my god, jeez.
I hate Werewolf 5th edition so much.
20th anniversary or nothing.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll let them know. Keep a distance. Don't fuck with them. To keep
It's
a low
not
profile.
It's not a matter of pride right now. It's a matter of survival.
Yeah. No colors in the open.
No, colors in the open. We're not pussies about it, but don't go looking for trouble.
Okay, understood. And after that, he wishes you well, and he hangs up.
Yeah. My stuff handled. All right.
Yeah.
Heading back to the boys.
Yeah, you get you pull up to the tower apartments. You see the gentleman behind the desk, the big guy. Just kind of nods. Mr. Wright, Mr. Wood, Mr. Barker, Ms. Frost.
Good evening.
Good to see you again.
Evening.
She kind of waves at him. And she goes, I remember where our apartment is, in case you want to handle your business, Mr. Wright. I'll make my way upstairs.
Yep.
Sure you're good on your own?
Yeah. I mean, this gentleman is here, and if I remember correctly, the skinny gentleman, Anthony, should be upstairs.
You do have a good memory. If you need anything, you send me a message, all right? You figure out a way to get a message to me.
Understood? You see her go up the elevator.
You were just downright endearing.
Yeah. Who are you?
Who the fuck?
This is the duality of Melvin.
The duality of Melvin.
That's right.
Brought to you by.
That sounds like a band name.
Right?
Sounds like a band name. Post.
Yeah.
No, progressive rock. That's it.
That's some post-punk shit. It's a duality of
Yeah.
Melvin.
There's two major bands in Salem right now. Not Edgar Allan Poe's wife and the duality of Melvin.
I love it. I'm on board.
Yeah, man. Actually, didn't I buy a bunch of shirts? I bought a bunch of merch for one of those bands.
But yeah,
that I was in there.
Not Edgar Allan Poe's wife.
Not Edgar Allan Poe's wife.
Yeah, Neep W.
Yeah, man. You know, I gotta look them up. I gotta see how they're doing. I gotta see how they're doing.
Yeah, they were in Portland not too long ago. So.
Oh, we could have run into them.
Could have ran into them.
Yeah, they're fucking werewolves too, for all we know.
Oh, let's not. Don't do that. No.
Neep W is just a bunch of guru.
Yeah.
Just glass walkers with one Bonard's lead singer.
Yep. There you go. That's it. It's that you planted the seed. It is in his brain now.
No, Neep W is not that important in the storyline.
Yeah.
Yet. Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not the one that started this.
Yeah. If one of you wants to like ghoul one of the members of Neep W, I'm okay with that.
No.
Oh.
I'm cutting the brakes on their car. I'm taking them out of this chronicle entirely if I have to. I'm going to increase their record sales.
Fuck them. We're down with Duality of Melvin now.
Duality
Fuck this
of Melvin
other band.
Yeah.
In fact, we're starting a band called Duality of Melvin. We're doing this now.
I'm making shirts.
Yeah.
That's our disguise. We just walk around with Duality of Melvin, like roadie shirts.
Half the Nosferatu mask, then the other half is smiling like it's fucking like comedy and tragedy.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
It writes itself.
But yeah.
So where are you gonna go? What's you're gonna check out the blue or red addresses?
Well, the red addresses were for feeding, blue addresses were
safe houses.
Just essentially safe houses. Have we gone to any of the blue addresses yet? Like accidentally?
Yeah.
I guess happenstance.
Yeah. One of them was where you found the video of them turning Melvin's daughter into a vampire.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, maybe we should start on those. We should start on those.
Yeah, I'm down with starting on those.
Okay. You head out and you go to the first. Obviously, you're gonna skip over the one that you set on fire.
Correct.
Because it's no longer there. But they all are kind of similar one-story houses, very small, kind of like starter homes. They look like maybe two bedrooms. The largest one might be a 3-bedroom house, but it doesn't look like they're made to accommodate a lot of people. And if you get out and look through the windows, you'll see that they're sparsely furnished, kind of like the bare essentials, like a couch, a table with a couple chairs. Nothing looks like it is to sustain, a family. And all of the 4 addresses you have left to visit that are blue inked are empty. None of them have the lights on. None of them have anybody inside or look like they've had anybody inside for at least a few weeks.
Got you. I would have at least liked to check a look at the first one to see if there is a compartment to a basement, to see if
there is. There is a basement.
Yeah. I would venture to go in there at least to see, even though it's been vacant, see if there was anything left. At least in the first one.
Yeah.
Let us search.
If you want to do some B&E, that's easy enough.
Silence of death. Oh, bam!
You break in through the rear entryway into the basement. The first house you go into, it looks like a bachelor pad. There's a pool table that looks like it was set up for 9-ball. The 1 and 3 are the only ones missing. The rest 2 through 9 are still on the table in various positions. Couple of pool cues here and there. There's a beanbag chair. No TV down here. There is a bar. But there is nothing to really stand out to you. There is what looks to be an area where a couch might have been, because the coloring around the rug is different in a kind of rectangular pattern, rough rectangular pattern, but it looks large enough for a couch to have been there. And there's still indentations in the rug from where it looks like it sat there for some time. But it looks like the removal was recent. Upstairs, the house looks unlived in. There's nothing in the fridge. Again, there's no heat. There's no telephone. In one of the rooms, you do notice that there is a tripod that has been put up, folded, kind of closed up behind the door. But it doesn't look like it's set at a height for eye level. It's set at a height for someone to be sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
But the room,
I'm taking that. I'm taking that tripod.
yeah, the room is empty. It smells of cleaning solution, like bleach, vinegar. There's an overwhelming scent of something that was cleaned up.
I don't feel like a cold sensation coming from the pistol that's lodged in under. Okay,
Nope.
Making sure.
Nope. But the bedroom looks like a bedroom that's been set up for kindred. So there's blackout curtains that have straps where you can kind of secure them so they won't open. The bed opens up so that there's a space underneath that looks to be able to house two kindred comfortably, maybe a third if they needed to.
You the moment we see kind of like the setup with the tripod and things like that, you see a shift in Melvin. And in my head, I'm getting images of the video.
That's what I was starting to think between the couch, the tripod, and something having to be heavily cleaned up.
And I grab the tripod, and I don't say anything to you guys. I just grab the tripod to take it with me, and I look at both of you and I just say, let me know when you're done in here.
Yeah, take your time.
Yep.
Well, does this from the memory of the video about his daughter? Does this look like the room where it happened?
No, that was in the house that you.
No, that was the other
burned.
house.
Yeah, I was in the house. This is done in. It seems like this was done in similar fashion based off the information.
Like, I'm having flashbacks because it like that's why when Will said it's at the height of somebody in a chair, I'm like, they're doing the same shit in this fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
They were because I'm about to burn this motherfucker down.
All right. Well, this is one of the blue addresses, right?
This is one of the blue addresses.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is. You know what? We're on a mission to prove. We're on a mission to send a message. Whatever furniture that is. Is there a microwave that happens to be in this house?
No.
No.
What, do you want a hot pocket? What the fuck are you asking for?
No, I was just gonna start putting shit in there so it can be set on fire, like it would explode.
Listen, when pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime.
Hold on. If we're searching through stacks of old information, this sort of thing, let's not let them realize we're going to each place. There's a time for a trail of destruction. I can't believe I'm saying this. This may not be the time.
I can't believe that you're saying this either.
So you don't want me to scribble, because this time I came up with a better one than I did the last fucking time, and put TikTok, motherfucker, TikTok. It was gonna be written on the grass this time in fire.
Out of the three of us, one of us is a career criminal, but
yeah,
and I'm not the one that made this decision. Well,
if you say that, I'm like, you're right. But I grabbed the tripod still, and I put it in the car.
Take that with you. Let's just not burn the place down yet.
Okay.
Look, let's check out at least one more address from the list of blue ones. We can burn down the next one if you like. We can even come back. We'll circle that one in the book, and we'll come back here and we'll burn that motherfucker down.
Put a little red star by it.
Yeah.
Coming back to this one.
Look, it's a little happy red flame. Little happy red flames.
How about we move down the list and go to like the whatever one's on the bottom of the list? Assuming that they're going in the order of the list.
Yeah, that's a complete guess. So we can. I mean, we can go to we can go to the last address list. This looks like what you said it was vacated at least probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
harder to tell with Kindred since they never use any.
It'll take you if you're gonna do like a cursory inspection of each of the places. It'll take you like 2.5 hours to go through the 4 addresses that are left. But none of them look like they've been in use for a couple of weeks.
Okay, but
so no one would care if we set them on fire.
Yeah, these are also these could be interesting safe houses we can use later too. Will, do any of them look like it's been a similar situation where there's something cleaned where they were?
No, the others look like they're just straight up to house Kindred.
Okay. Yeah. So what was special about this one, and obviously the house we did burn down?
The houses, the one that we went to that we found the tripod. Mm-hmm. Where is that one located?
On the southern edge of Kaiser, like right on the border of Kaiser and Highland. So the closest place to you would be I want to say the Hangman, which is a bar that's owned by the Tremere Primogen.
Yeah. All of these, I just want to ask. I just want to try to extrapolate something. All of these that are marked in blue, these safe houses. Would I be able just to ascertain maybe as we go through each one of them, if we're going to do this, where they're at in proximity to the closest, as far as like important structure that we could remember? I'm trying to see if these safe houses are made in a way where they're next to things that we could have encountered already or places we've gotten ourselves.
The safe houses are in Kaiser, and the only thing that is remotely reminiscent of any place that you've been before is that the last address you go to is a couple of blocks from the bookstore where you fought the gargoyle.
Oof.
You guys didn't spend a lot of time in Kaiser. No,
we didn't. But I can understand that. I'm starting to think that Kaiser is a place where as they use, because it's far detached, or at least detached from where the action actually is. That's what I feel anyway.
It's not a big jump.
Yeah. As far as the red addresses, then, because now I want to just skim through. I'll go through what I guess would be the last address, or the one that's marked in red.
The last one you go to is a 2-story building, long. It's an annex to the Kaiser General Hospital. It is the Phlebotomy Training Specialist Center.
Of course it is.
But most of the lights are off in the offices. The main entryway has a couple of dim lights, and there's a front desk with a black gentleman in a security outfit, kind of short, cropped, kind of shaved head, a little bit of a goatee, not rotund, but definitely on the bigger side of average. Just kind of sitting there looking at what looks to be a magazine. And every so often, like when a car is driving by, like he'll sit up and as he'll watch it, and then if it doesn't pull in, then he just kind of goes back to his magazine.
Yeah. The red ones are places where they fed, pretty much.
Looks like it.
Okay.
And if it's a phlebotomy center, I mean, talk about hiding in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like all this does places draw and store blood.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What type of blood are they storing?
You'd have to go inside.
Oh, okay.
And do some investigating.
We should go inside.
I think no, let's cause a little trouble.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
All right, let me actually try and do this the quiet way. I mean, obviously with silence and death and shit like that, but I mean, like just picking our lock and getting in there.
Okay.
But the guy is working there, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He's literally, if we walk inside, he'll see us.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got this. I'll just walk in.
Yeah. You walk in and you see that he closes the magazine and immediately kind of sits up, puts his hands together on the desk. Oh, gentlemen, how can I be of service to you this fine evening? Walking in, you'll also notice that the hours of operation are from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay, so in other words, it's after hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also,
and yet the door is open.
And he's neither surprised nor perturbed to see pale individuals come strolling on in. So,
and my fucking moneymaker of a face.
Yeah, right?
I casually look around. I'm like, what the service of trying to for a nightcap, so to speak?
Oh, and do you have any credentials?
In my head, I'm like subtle.
mm-hmm.
I'm at the going into the full body. I'd like a grand slam, please.
Yeah.
Credentials.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Start patting. But as I'm doing that, I can tell that there's flush of life in this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll cast awe.
Okay.
Have that turned on. Trying to look. Sorry, I seem to have left all of my stuff over at the house. Look. I know I don't like to show my face too much, but I am Erickson Wood. I am a state senator. I don't know if you remember me.
I apologize, sir, but without a card of membership, I can't let you into the building.
Oh,
I'm looking at you. I'm just looking at you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. I'm trying. Well, then tell me how. And I start angling him towards one corner away from the two gentlemen. Well, then I just want to ask, how would I get credentials? I mean, you're telling me credentials. So who do I need to speak with?
He counter crosses so that he can keep an eye on all three of you.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like I said, sir. If I don't have credentials, I can't let anyone into the building. Sorry. It's just the way things are here. If you'd like to come back during business hours, I'm pretty sure someone can help you.
I'm looking over at you guys and I'm giving you the look like I don't want to kill this guy, but please someone help me before I kill this guy. No? So I'm killing this guy? Cool. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna
I didn't want to have to do this. And I know it's not going to do anything, but this is the only thing I can think of to prevent him from just slaughter. Is I put my badge on the counter.
He looks at it. Chicago's a far distance away from Salem, sir.
A police officer's a police officer.
Jurisdiction is a thing.
For some people.
All right. Now, from the fucking loot we found at some of the other places recently, did anything look like credentials or business cards or anything for that?
Not at all.
Nothing. Okay.
There was nothing later on like that.
Okay, so let me before I move forward.
Yeah?
I just want to make sure I'm on the right page.
before we kill this guy.
Sure.
Before I decide my next action. So this list is from the house that we've gotten these addresses from the house of the people that tortured my daughter.
The ledger was in the Malkavian Primogen's home.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. But every place we've gone to seems like it's been correlated to that.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. It was almost like he was.
I think someone just. Yeah, that sounds like someone just found his moral loophole for this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to die.
Yep. It's funny how things become clear when you put them up on the whiteboard and you start putting red thread around them.
I activate Dawn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. If I start feeling that, I'll take away my awe. Obviously, so I'll take away.
And I just step closer to him.
Okay.
And I say, "You don't need my credentials. You don't need our credentials." And I put the badge away. I'm like, "You're gonna let us in."
All right. Make a manipulation and intimidation roll for me, please. 3 whole dice, baby.
And I add presents, right?
And you do add presents.
Because of Dawn?
Yes.
Okay.
So 4 whole dice, baby.
That's right, baby.
Will's like, and I got ace in my dice pool. Just roll them.
Well, I rolled 3 9s and a 2.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. You can't beat my 6 7s.
One of them's on the hunger dice.
Yep. He goes over, and you see him pull a lanyard from his belt, and he slides a card into a reader. And after a moment, a light turns green, and you hear a heavy bolt unlock. He turns the handle, and he opens it, and the moment he does, you feel this coldness, like the whole inside of wherever he's allowing you entrance into is refrigerated.
Very nice.
Like,
Much appreciated.
No.
And I look at you and I look at Erickson and Andres and I just go,
Why, thank you.
Yeah, I was like,
I walk right on in.
and you guys feel slightly awkward.
By the way,
with me too.
and for Erickson, when you go in, I'm not heading in yet. I'm like, can that open from the inside?
yes, sir.
No, I was asking Erickson, not this schmuck.
Oh,
I'm like, are you lying?
Oh, how would I know? Just...
You went inside, turn around and look at the door.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as it but that's the thing. Can it be open from the inside then?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, click, 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 click.
Yeah. Oh yeah, our
Barn
stuff's
door
right
protocol,
inside here.
baby.
Slam, dude. You've never seen a meat locker scene in like any sitcom.
Yeah.
It's like a meat locker in here.
Yeah.
After I walk in, I shut off Dawn.
Yeah.
So that Erickson and Andreas aren't awkward around me too.
Yeah, and he closes the door once you're inside.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm waiting for. Do we hear the slam? The clicking?
Nope. There's a heavy
cool.
clunk of the locking again, but otherwise.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to use prowess. We're just gonna have to use prowess when we need to get out of here.
There's a handle. There's one of those push bars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, let's fucking let's check what kind of supply they were keeping here, or whatever the fuck this place is.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I look at Erickson and I just say, I gave you a shot, but I felt I had to step in.
Look, well, I'm glad you did because I would have killed him, and then we wouldn't have figured out to use the card reader. So I'm glad that it happened.
I mean, I think you should give us a little more credit than that. But sure. And I start walking.
Yep.
Us.
You will notice that the whole first floor feels like there's just this over refrigerated kind of sterilization to it. Directly across from the door that leads into this open area, you see that there is a glass enclosure where there's a single elevator. And again, it has the card reader to open the glass enclosure, but it looks like each floor is protected. Walking around the building, you notice that this is the only way in or out as far as the first floor is concerned. It looks like the hallway kind of goes to an end and then wraps around the rest of the building like a U, like a square U.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're going down, each room has a little window on the door, and it looks like there's a chair that can be folded back into a table or a kind of bed. Very sterile looking, very metallic and cold and scientific. Most of the rooms are clean though. It looks like they're sterile and they've been wiped down. But in one room, you see that the window has a spatter of blood that has kind of shaded the viewing into a shade of red. And inside you see something lumbering about. I say something because it no longer looks human. It has two sets of legs. It looks like two torsos have been smashed together. And so there's the two sets of legs. There's one doubled size arm. It looks like a dominant right arm. And then the left arm looks like it's been fused to two arms have been fused together up to the elbow. And then the skin has been ripped off of the lower extremities, and they've been turned into long spider-like protrusions, extensions. They're feeling around, kind of, and this thing is walking around the room. As it turns, it has one head, but you notice that the jaws have been fused together so that when it opens its mouth, the lower jaws open down and out, kind of like the vampires from Blade 3. The main jaw still kind of opens up and down like a regular human mouth. Eyes have been completely wiped away, like the skin was just kind of erased. And there's just a large pair of ears on the side, an ear on the top back, and then an ear kind of like on the front forehead, and it just kind of swings its massive head around and tries to not echolocate, but you do notice that there's a lot of tapping going on with the bone-like protrusions that are the spider legs, the spider arms. And it seems like the clicking that it does with that is kind of painting a picture for it, because every so often, like right before it hits the wall in the corner, it stops and then it slides the spider-like arms across it till it hits the corner. It nods, and then it turns so that it is parallel to that wall, and it starts clicking, kind of like tapping the wall to continue its circular mapping of the room for itself. But it looks like there's a dismembered body in the center of the room. This looks like it was something that it fed on, or that it's currently feeding on.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Fuck.
Yeah. And as you kind of say that under your breath, the head turns in your directions, in the mouth open, and there is a chorus of at least 4 different voices screaming out in pain. The kind of window that lets you see shatters, and it starts to lumber towards the door, and this is where we're gonna stop for tonight.
Oh, mother.
I would like to close my evening with 3 simple words.
Do it.
Silence of death.
We're just silence of death everywhere.
Yeah.
Fuck this. Fuck this.
By the way, Blade 2, not Blade 3.
Oh,
look,
sorry.
the moment I saw Hellboy Keller like fucking poking around at the walls, I'm like, I know what we're dealing with here.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for the lovely story we're going to tell.
Body horror.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and I want to thank the audience for joining us for this. I do Regret not warning you guys ahead of time about the body horror, but this is not something that was discussed when we sat down to start the episode, so I didn't know we were going to get here tonight. But I will put a trigger warning when it goes up on YouTube. As always, thank you guys for being a part of this. We couldn't do this without you. Please take care of yourselves. Know that it is okay to not be okay. And if you feel like you need help or you need to reach out, there are phone numbers going up in the Twitch chat if you're watching live. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube, because it is okay to not be okay, and you should know that there are resources out there to help you if you need it. We take mental health on this channel seriously, and we wanna make sure that this is a safe space and that you understand that we are here to help you if you need it. But we're also not licensed or trained for that. So I will always make phone numbers and links available. There's a link going up right now. So you can find resources in the areas closest to you, just in case you're outside the United States or the phone numbers aren't a good enough resource for you. And if you're a friend or family member of somebody that is a strong or happy-go-lucky personality, please check in on them. You never know how a simple hello or how are you text can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So I've lost a few people, and I know that checking in goes a long way. So please don't just check in on yourself, but check in on others. We're not an island unto ourselves. But as always, Mondays on the channel are for Vampire the Masquerade. Tonight was an Anarch chapter. Next week will be the Camarilla chapter. It alternates. 2 different coteries in the same city dealing with 2 very different things. I will warn you, last week's episode is a little heavy if you're going to go watch it on YouTube to try and catch up. They dealt with heavy subject matters given the time period and the correlation between one of the characters and the NPC that was their brother. Tuesdays are for Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. They alternate every Tuesday. This Thursday we are off, but Thursdays are going to be alternating between 7th Sea and Old Gods of Appalachia, which will be starting after a special run on McStabber Studios. And speaking of, you can catch me on McStabber Studios on Friday, and every Friday this month, I believe, for our Monster Hearts 2 little mini-series that we are going back to. We're revisiting characters from the original Monster Hearts 2 run. And in a couple of weeks, you can catch me on Wednesdays in their Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages game, which I play a spicy Spanish La Sombra. So that's a lot of fun. So again, thank you guys. Thank you guys for putting up with my story. And where we're going to go is going to be heavy Simitsi horror. So I hope you're ready for that. So I thank you for trusting me. It means a lot. And as always, we will see you when we see you. Please take care of yourselves. Have a good night. And be safe out there, boys. Bye.